human being that I love so much, here to help us do just that. He is the real deal. I wish I could tell some of his stories, maybe when we have him later, of what is possible with Qi. How powerful we are when we use this life source. He has an incredible book. I just want to celebrate it. It just came out. It's called Ready, Set, Slow. Yeah, I love manifesting. Give me like nice and slow and fun and loving, and I can create that way. But it's a bestseller on Amazon, and we're just gonna speak it out into existence. I want you to celebrate it with me. A New York Times best-selling author, because we know that's where it's headed. So please, everybody, help me welcome to the stage Lee Holden. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you.
Run it up, I need the revenue. I know the money talk, we doing interviews. Bigger house with a bigger view. 6 foreign cars in a swimming pool. Working hard, I've been up late. All I ever do is upgrade.
Oh, this is great. Who was that guy? Welcome, 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 everybody. How nice is that? I love that introduction to step right into the New York Times best-selling. Yes. All right. Manifesting. Oh my gosh. Here we are. We are going to be doing some Qi Gong. This is going to be a short session, but an important session, because we're going to get your energy moving with a practice called Qi Gong. Have you guys ever done Qi Gong? No? Say what? Qi what? Well, Qi Gong is the original energy work. Qi means energy, and Gong means work. Energy work. It's about 4,000 years old. It comes from ancient shamanistic practices emerging out of China, but it was men and women watching the way nature moved. A river flowing down the mountain and a tree in the wind. And they started to move their bodies like nature to cultivate energy. Energy is the essential ingredient in manifesting. If you don't have energy, you don't have power. If you don't have power, even if you have a very clear intention and doing all these things these amazing speakers are saying, we don't have enough power in the tank to get us to where we want to go. Think of clarity of intent as good directions, but you also need a fully charged battery to get you there. You need fuel in the tank. So energy is essential to so many things in life. So the word Qi Gong, energy work. Gong also means skill, a skill at working with life force energy. What is Qi? It's everything. It is everything. And what you're gonna hear from many, many speakers up here is how to work with energy. Because energy, when we're thinking about manifesting, goes from formless, a thought, an idea, an imagination, a concept, into the form. From formless to form is what we want to develop that gong, that skill, into bringing ideas into creation. And we need that power. So we're going to do some energy work. We're going to do some Qigong right here, right now. And you know, one of my missions is to bring Qigong out into the world, because it's an accessible way to activate healing energy in your body. It's a way to change states from one state into another. And lots of people don't know what Qigong is. And this was showcased to me by my daughter. She was about 8 years old at the time. I picked her up from like 3rd grade or something, and she had a friend in the car with me. And so we're driving along, and they had this conversation going on as if I wasn't there. What does your daddy do? My daddy's an engineer, blah, 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 she was saying. And then my daughter said, well, my daddy teaches Qigong. And she's all, Qigong? What's that? And my daughter says, you don't know what Qigong is and you go to church? So that was a precious conversation. So now we know what Qigong is, energy work. Now, Qi really means your aliveness. Your aliveness. Because some people say, I don't believe in Qi. I believe in science. And then I'm always saying to the person who doesn't believe in Qi, I said, do you believe you're alive? What do you want to call that? Aliveness. How much aliveness do you have within yourself, and how do we work with that aliveness? What makes you alive? What makes you alive? The ancients called it Qi. Many, many cultures from around the world have a name for it. We have Qi, we have prana, we have breath, we have spirit, we have aliveness within us. This qi manifests as light in your mind, as feelings in your heart, and as vitality in your body. We call them the three treasures. And this afternoon, I'll be coming back up and we're gonna be talking about how to manifest in those three treasures. Because really what we want is that aliveness in our body, that openness in our heart, and that clarity in our minds. But right now, we're gonna move our bodies. We're gonna move some qi right now, so let's do that. I'm gonna have you stand up. I'm gonna have you stand up. Because now we have a little bit more space. Not everybody's here. This is when I'm gonna teach the secrets. Because I've traveled all over the world learning energy practices. And when I graduated from college, all my friends were going, I'm getting a job, I'm gonna become a lawyer, I'm gonna become a doctor. And I was like, I think I'm going to Asia to study this qi stuff. Because I was a collegiate soccer player, I hurt my low back. It was one of the first games of the season, and I jumped up in the air, somebody took out my legs, and I landed on my tailbone. And the team doctors were like, you're out for the season, that's it. And I remember this martial artist teacher of mine when I was a little kid, and he broke this big stack of bricks, bam, and all the bricks shattered, and I was like, oh, wow, how did you do that? And he said, power of qi. I was like, I want to learn that. And he like picked me up by my gi like this, and he's like, qi is for healing, not hurting people. And I was like, okay, master, yes. And so when I had this injury, I was like, I'm gonna go see that guy. And guess what? He put these little pins in my back, acupuncture, and he showed me these silly, slow exercises. And after one treatment, I was 50% better. 2 treatments, I was 75% better. 3 treatments in that 1 week, I was 95% better. And I was playing soccer again that following week. And before every practice, before every game, I was doing Qi Gong and showing my soccer player friends. And that was some 37 years ago. And I'm still doing it now. So this is something I'm really passionate about, because in a world that is focused on forms, we need to work on the energy behind the forms. In a world that only focuses on medicine, where you take something, not recognizing that there is tremendous healing power in your body. It's available in your body if we know how to unlock it and unleash this power. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. So let's start with an exercise that's called spinal cord breathing. It's gonna move your spine, and it's really important when we've been sitting too long. And unfortunately, we're a culture of sedentary people. We sit too long. And then I saw a new study that came out. I don't know if you guys saw this. Sitting is the new smoking. I was like, oh, that's because your qi gets stagnant when you sit too long. And I saw this every time I travel. You sit on an airplane for 6 to 12 hours, and you've just been sitting there, and nobody gets off the plane and goes, oh, I feel so relaxed. That was amazing. No, your qi is stagnant. So movement is key. So if you sit next to me on an airplane, you're gonna see me doing these kinds of weird things. All right, let's get weird together, guys. So bend your knees a little bit, and we're gonna move our spines. We're gonna activate that spinal cord fluid. We're gonna move all the joints. Hands right here. And inhale, and you're gonna look up. And then exhale, you're gonna round your back. You're gonna tuck your tailbone under. Your elbows almost touch. Your chin comes down to your chest. You feel like you're gonna round the back. And then inhale, look up. Big deep breath. And exhale and round the back. Now you're moving your spine, you're breathing deep. So you're gonna reset your nervous system. Inhale. And then exhale and round the back. And a deep breath. Now, when you round the back, go ahead and squeeze your buttocks. Squeeze your buttocks like this, not with your hands. Some people, that's all. Squeeze, okay? Inhale, and that's gonna activate your sacral pump. And that's really good for the lower spine. Squeeze. Don't make me come out there and check if you're doing it right. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, round your back. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Relax. Fantastic. Good. Where in your body do you feel like you carry stress and tension? Up here, right? So many people feel like they carry tension and stress because we always want to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And it is also has to do with the way you're breathing. If you're breathing shallow, you stack a lot of tension up here. And for some reason in our minds, we feel like if we tighten our muscles, we're gonna have control of the world, right? You're sitting in traffic, you're just like, I'm gonna tighten up. That's gonna make the cars go faster. It doesn't really, right? So let's stretch what in Qigong is called the lines of tension. And we're gonna do a movement called spreading the feathers. You're gonna go like this. Press your palms down. Good. And then spread your fingers, shoulders press down, and then go ear to the shoulder. Yeah, and don't force it over, relax it over. So you don't have to bring this shoulder up either, not like that. Relax it down. Good, and then try the other side. Now, can you feel when you do this, you feel a nice stretch through here, all the way through the fingertips. These are great little chi breaks when you've been working on the computer. Go to the other side. Now slowly roll the head back and slowly roll the head forward. And just stretch that line of tension in the upper back and neck. And take a deep breath, exhale out through the mouth. So it's inhale through the nose and exhale. And whatever emotional stress you're carrying in those muscles, let it go. Very nice. And let's go to the other side. Chin to the chest, ear to the shoulder. Nice and slow. Press the palms down. And again, don't force your head over, relax it over. Good. Take a nice deep breath with an exhale out through the mouth, letting go of tension and tightness. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Big deep breath in through the nose. And chin to the chest. Relax. Shake out the hands a little bit. Good. And what you're going to feel after we do these exercises, you're going to feel tingling in your body. Tingling is a sign that your inner electricity is circulating and flowing. And the way that these pathways of energy move is something called meridians. Along meridians are acupuncture points. And I became an acupuncturist like in the late 90s. And it was like a 4-year degree in like Harry Potter studies. It was really cool. You study herbs, you study energy, you study all this mystical, magical stuff. It was great. And you learn about all these little points along these rivers of energy that flow and circulate in your body. Now, energy is behind everything. So you have all these functions in your body and all these systems, like a cardiovascular system, right? But behind it is electricity. And how this electricity moves and circulates determines how the form manifests. So stress is going to create constriction in your qi. In Chinese medicine, we call it stagnation of qi. And we want to get that stagnation moving and circulating. So stagnation, anywhere you feel pain, we say qi is stagnant. And then once the qi circulates, we feel healthy, we feel better. And that can manifest in emotions, in thoughts, and in our physical bodies. So let's do an exercise where we just shake a little bit. We're gonna shake the arms, because to manifest, you need your best self moving forward. We need it to emerge. And we want that best energy to come with it. Because when we're stressed out, constricted, our chi stagnant, even with clarity in the mind, we'll revert to previous patterns. So we wanna get the energy moving. So shake. What do athletes do before an event? You see them, do you watch the Olympics? Before every event, they do all kinds of Qigong exercises intuitively. So you, like a professional athlete, we want to bring your best energy forward into whatever work you're doing, whether it's parenting, right? You need to be your best self when you're parenting, I tell you. I have 4 daughters, I have 3 teenagers, and I have a toddler. The real reason I do Qigong, right there. 4 daughters. And I'll tell you some stories about them in the next session. But now what we're gonna do is bounce like this. And I want you to shake and breathe. So inhale through your nose. Exhale the long side, just a little bit like what Sonia was having us do. That was Qigong. Move your energy, increase your vibes, whatever we want to call it. We want to get this circulating. All right, big deep breath. Don't be shy. Inhale, exhale the long side. Pump your arms. In Qigong, they say activate 5 pumps, your 2 legs, your 2 arms, and your spine. Do it again, big deep breath. This is what I was doing behind stage because you guys were making me nervous. You know, when you get up here and you're like, a sea of people. You do a little of this, it takes away nervous tension. It brings you into a calmer state of mind and body. Okay, one more deep breath. Inhale. All right, you ready for the magic? Slow it down, relax. Now feel, close your eyes, go inward, and feel this power that has been activated within you. Your energy is often dormant. It's often quiet. It's behind the scenes. It needs to be brought forth. It needs to become activated for it to become expressed. And there it is, a tingling, buzzing. It is your inner radiance, your inner light. Qi manifests as warmth, vibration, pulsation, and light. It's the light in your mind. It's the vibration of emotions. It's the heat in your body. Go ahead and feel that. And relax. Now take a nice deep breath. Inhale, arms come up. This will be our final exercise. Nice and slow, and we're gonna bring the hands down. Now what Qi Gong is embodied movement and meditation. It's embodied manifestation. Do you have enough space to go like this? You might stagger a little bit. Say hi to your neighbor. Give them some good Qi. If you want, you can go like this. Give the person in front of you some good Qi. Okay, so now when we do this nice and slow, you're gonna move slowly. The reason you move slowly is because that is the way you cultivate energy. So slowness can be so powerful. Inhale, and when your hands come down, exhale. Bring your power back to yourself, because I can tell that you invest a lot of your precious life force energy into your life, into the people in your life, into your work, into your friends and your family. Now bring that power back to yourself. Reclaim your power with movement. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back to your belly. One more time. Inhale. And just bring your hands down. Take one more deep breath. Notice how your body feels now. Resourced, powerful, connected. All right. Are you ready for your next speaker? I'll be back at 5.